Hey there. So, let's talk about something interesting that's been all over the internet lately. You ever see a photo of two people and just instantly think, oh yeah, they're totally dating? No real reason, just a feeling. Yep, we've all been there. That exact thing just happened with Janet Jackson and Maxwell. The internet saw a few photos, and boom, people were convinced they were dating. Fans started buzzing, headlines popped up, TikToks were made. Janet and Maxwell? No way. It was like everyone suddenly had front row seats to a surprise love story. But here's the thing, they're not dating. Like, not even close. And that might come as a shock with all the talk going around. I mean, two musical icons, a couple of photos together, and suddenly the whole internet's planning their wedding. So what's really going on? Why are people so sure there's something romantic happening? And why do we jump to these conclusions so quickly? Don't worry, we're breaking it all down right now. No fluff. Just facts, and maybe a little perspective. It all started pretty simply. Janet Jackson and Maxwell were seen at a few events together. Nothing dramatic. Just two stars at the same places, showing up, doing their thing, maybe walking the red carpet. In those photos, they looked good. I mean, come on, they're both effortlessly stylish, always have been. They smiled. They laughed. They looked like they were enjoying each other's company. And then social media did what social media does best, it took a moment, ran with it, and created a whole new storyline. Suddenly people were like, they're so cute together, or this has been a long time coming. But here's the truth, there was no hand-holding, no cuddling, no romantic captions. Nothing that actually said, hey, we're together. They were just, there. At the same event. Being friendly. That's it. But the story people wanted to see? Oh, that was much more dramatic. Now, here's the part most people don't know. Janet and Maxwell? They've been friends for years. This isn't some random new link-up. This is a friendship that's been around for a long time, decades even. They've supported each other's music. They've shown up for each other. They've shared mutual respect and love for what each other does. Think about it, when you've been in the industry as long as they have, it's not easy finding people who really understand the pressure, the attention, the expectations. Having someone like that in your corner? That's gold. And that's the kind of connection Janet and Maxwell share. But when people see a man and a woman being close, especially two famous ones, they immediately jump to romance. It's almost automatic at this point. The brain sees the pattern and fills in the blanks. Oh, they're laughing? Must be flirting. They posed for a photo? Must be dating. It's just how we're wired sometimes. This is something called pattern recognition bias. Basically, our brains like to create stories based on what we think we know, even if the real story is completely different. And in celebrity culture, that kind of thinking spreads like wildfire. Let's be real, we love the idea of a romantic story. Especially when it's two incredibly talented, beautiful people. Janet and Maxwell are both legends. Seeing them together? It feels like something magical. So when fans saw them in the same room, their minds didn't say, oh cool, they're friends. Their minds went, yes, this is the couple we've been waiting for. But that doesn't make it true. When you slow down and really look, there's nothing in those photos that says, romance. There's just mutual respect and genuine friendship. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And honestly, that deserves more love than it gets. We don't talk enough about how beautiful platonic friendships can be. Especially between a man and a woman. For some reason, people think if there's chemistry or closeness, it must be romantic. But that's just not always the case. Sometimes, people are just kind to each other. Sometimes they vibe. Sometimes they show up to support one another without it being a relationship. And that's okay. That's actually awesome. But let's talk about the media for a second, because they definitely play a part in all this. The media loves mystery. Loves drama. Loves what if. So instead of saying, Janet and Maxwell were seen hanging out as friends, they say things like, are Janet and Maxwell more than friends, or Janet sparks romance rumors with Maxwell. That's how they get clicks. They don't need to confirm anything. Just asking the question is enough to get people talking. And once the buzz starts, it doesn't stop. People retweet. They comment. They start shipping the couple. And before you know it, a completely made-up love story is trending. And Janet and Maxwell? They're just out here living their lives. It's a wild thing, right? How easily context can disappear in the world of viral content. One analyst said something that really stuck with me: in the digital age, context gets cropped out. The more viral the image, the less likely we are to get the real story. And wow, that's so true. So next time we see two celebs together, maybe we pause before jumping to conclusions. Maybe we don't write the whole romance novel in our heads just yet. Because here's another truth: we need to normalize close friendships between men and women without assuming romance. We really do. And not just in celebrity culture, but in real life, too. When you think about Janet and Maxwell, the real story isn't a secret relationship. It's a lasting connection based on trust, creativity, and shared experiences. That kind of bond? It's just as rare, just as special, and honestly, probably more real than half the PR-staged romances we see in the headlines. So if you're still wondering, are Janet Jackson and Maxwell dating? The answer is, no. They're just great friends. And that's more than enough. Now, let's talk about how we can all get better at spotting the truth in a world full of rumors. First, if the information isn't coming directly from them, or their team, don't take it as fact. It's that simple. No official post, no confirmation. Then it's just noise. Second, remember that photos don't always show the full picture. A smile, a hug, a pose, it might mean they're sharing a laugh. Or it might mean absolutely nothing. Without context, it's just a moment frozen in time. And finally, try to notice when media uses phrases like, sparks rumors, or allegedly, or fans speculate. That's your cue to pause. Because they're not telling you something happened, they're just suggesting it might have. It's like a magician's trick. Just enough misdirection to keep you guessing. But now? Now you know better. So, what do you think? Like really, think about it for a second. Have you ever seen a rumor online, maybe something about a celebrity, or even someone from your own life, and totally believed it? Like, no questions asked. It just felt true in the moment. You saw a photo, read a headline, maybe even heard a friend talk about it, and your brain just went, yup, that's what happened. And then, a few days, or maybe even weeks, later, you found out it wasn't true at all. Yeah. We've all been there. It's wild how easy it is to get caught up in those moments, right? Especially with social media. Everything happens so fast. A picture pops up. Someone posts a eyes emoji. Suddenly the whole internet is running with the story like it's fact. And you're sitting there thinking, wait, when did this happen? How did I miss this? But then it turns out, nothing happened. It was just smoke. Just a moment taken out of context. And you realize how quickly we can all get swept up in the excitement, in the gossip, in the idea of something, even when there's nothing actually there. And that's kind of the point, isn't it? Sometimes, we're so eager to believe in something interesting that we stop asking if it's actually true. And it's not just about celebrities either. It can be someone from school. Someone at work. A random story about someone you follow online. Someone posts a cryptic message. Someone sees two people hanging out. Someone hears a rumor and repeats it like it's gospel. Boom. Narrative created. We want a story. We want to connect the dots. And sometimes, we do that so fast, we don't even realize we're skipping steps. That's what happened with Janet Jackson and Maxwell. People saw two icons smiling together at a few events, and suddenly it was like the internet crowned them the new power couple. No quotes. No confirmation. Just a vibe. Just two legends being friendly. And that was enough for the rumor mill to go full speed. But here's where it gets really interesting. When the truth came out, that they're just longtime friends, nothing romantic, people were surprised. Some were even disappointed. Isn't that kind of strange? Why is friendship between two adults, especially a man and a woman, somehow less exciting to us than romance? Why is it that when two people are close, we assume there has to be something more going on? It really makes you think, doesn't it? We've gotten so used to seeing love stories everywhere that sometimes we forget just how beautiful friendships can be. Especially the ones that last through the years. The kind where you show up for each other, celebrate each other's wins, and offer support when things get tough. That kind of bond is rare. And honestly, it deserves just as much love and attention. But that's not the story people like to tell. Because drama sells. Romance sells. Speculation sells. If a headline says, Janet and Maxwell support each other as old friends, most people scroll right past it. But if it says, Janet Jackson and Maxwell spark dating rumors after cozy red carpet appearance, people stop. They click. They share. Even if the story doesn't actually say anything concrete, the idea is out there now. And once it's out, good luck getting it back. That's how these things spread. Not through facts, but through curiosity. And hey, we get it. We're all human. We love stories. We crave connections. But here's the thing, not every connection is romantic. And not every photo tells the full story. Sometimes, two people are just friends. And that should be enough. In fact, real friendship might be one of the most underrated, powerful things in a person's life. Especially in the celebrity world, where trust is hard to come by and everything gets analyzed. Having someone who just gets you. Someone who's not in it for the fame, the headlines, or the drama. That's gold. And that's what Janet and Maxwell seem to have. A real, solid friendship. No scandals. No PR stunts. Just two artists respecting each other. Honestly, when you think about it, that's kind of refreshing. And that brings us back to you. Think about the friendships in your own life. Think about the people you've leaned on when things got rough, or the ones who've cheered you on quietly from the sidelines. Those people matter. Those relationships matter. It doesn't always have to be about romance. Sometimes, the deepest love is the kind that isn't romantic at all. And that's something worth celebrating. So if you've ever had a friend who's been there for you, who's shown up, who stood by your side when you needed it most, maybe take a moment to tell them you appreciate them. Seriously. Send a message. Make a call. Give them that shout out. Because in a world that's so obsessed with romantic love, it's easy to forget that friendship is just as powerful, and sometimes, even more lasting. Alright, now let's switch gears for a second. If this video gave you something to think about, maybe it helped you see things a little differently, or maybe it just made you pause and say, huh. I never looked at it like that, then go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And if you enjoy content like this, real stories, honest takes, things that make you question what you thought you knew, then maybe hit subscribe too. We're building a space here for real conversations. Not just hot takes and celebrity gossip, but stuff that matters. Because this channel? It's not just about who's dating who. It's about going deeper. It's about peeling back the layers and asking the question beneath the question. It's about learning to see beyond the headlines and tuning into what's actually real. And hey, we've got a really cool video coming up next that you won't want to miss. It's about Beyoncé and Jay-Z, and why they keep their relationship so incredibly private. Like, we're talking next-level privacy. No oversharing. No constant updates. Just silence, and strength. And the crazy part? That might actually be the secret to how they've lasted so long. Think about it, what if keeping something sacred and protected is what makes it strong? What if the more you share with the world, the more it starts to chip away at the connection? It's an idea worth exploring. And trust me, that video's gonna make you see celebrity relationships, and maybe even your own, a little differently. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Before we wrap up, I just want to say this. Thank you. Seriously. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending your time with me. I know there are a million videos you could be watching, and the fact that you're still here means the world. Whether you're here for the celebrity stories, the human connection, or just a good vibe, you're always welcome. This community? It's for thinkers. For feelers. For people who aren't afraid to ask questions and look past the surface. So keep showing up. Keep being curious. Keep questioning what you see. And next time you come across a photo of two celebrities looking cozy, before you hit that share button, before you jump to conclusions, take a breath. Ask yourself, do I know the whole story? Because maybe, just maybe, it's not what it looks like. Maybe it's not romance. Maybe it's not drama. Maybe it's just friendship. And you know what? That's a beautiful thing. Take care of yourself, take care of your people, and I'll see you in the next one.